Hi, welcome to Best in Tesla News episode 112. Tesla has started deliveries of their Made in Germany Model Y outside Germany. CATL is coming out with a battery to compete with Tesla's 4680 cell. And solar and wind reached a big milestone in 2021. And Tesla is seeking to do another stock split. And we have a cool new electric car coming in 2023. And GM is surprised by the EV demand. I mean, come on. And a spokesperson for a mining company is out saying people don't realize how far ahead Tesla is. And the trend clearly shows Tesla is heading for European domination. All this and much more on today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
So, the first made-in-German Model Ys got delivered outside Germany this Tuesday, and it happened here in Aarhus in Denmark. So, I was luckily invited by Tesla to come to the event and check it out. I did make a whole video about this, so if you want to learn more about the cars and the event, go check that one out, linked down below. You can also see all my tweets about the event on my Twitter account, and even Elon liked my tweet about the event. Thanks, Elon. But I do think the Model Y is going to sell like crazy here in Denmark and Europe as well, because this is just such an awesome car in every single way. But Tesla is already very popular here in Denmark. I can no longer go for a drive without seeing Teslas driving around. Here is just the parking lot at my gym, and here we are 6 Teslas, including mine, at this little parking lot where maybe 20 cars are parked. They are just such a common sight in Denmark now, and Tesla is only getting started. The store manager at the Tesla store told me that they delivered about 500 Teslas during last month, and in little Denmark that is quite a big number. The average last year was about 285 units per month, and I can only believe that is going to increase significantly over the next year as Model Ys comes to Denmark from the Berlin factory. But that is of course not just Denmark, this will be all over Europe, and we did get some pictures on Twitter from Giga factory Berlin Brandenburg showing trucks leaving the factory with a lot of Model Ys, because what happened here in Aarhus I was pretty sure would be the theme for the rest of Europe as well. A handful of Model Y is going to be delivered in the different countries all over Europe in the next couple of weeks to show off the car, and then we're just waiting for the big ramp up of the factory so we can get the real volume deliveries off the ground. And as I said in my video, the next place should be in Italy, and we should be able to find some pictures on Twitter about that. And that was exactly what happened. Next day we could see a handful of more Model Ys from Berlin being delivered in Italy, and now many other places around Europe. And the car market here in Europe continues to fall since it peaked in 2018, and in Europe it was down 7% last month, with 804,000 units registered last month, making it the lowest February in over 20 years. But despite that, the plug-in market is still up over 38% year over year, and was in February 20% of the overall car market here in Europe. And the BEVs are leading the way now, and Tesla Model 3 and the Model Y were the 2 best-selling plug-in vehicles in Europe in February. And remember, it was only like 3 years ago the short sellers were talking about a handful of EVs that was coming out, and those few models would be eating into Tesla's sales numbers. And now, here we are 3 years later with over 500 different plug-in models being available here in Europe, and Tesla is now actually leading the way, bigger and stronger than ever. The competition has done nothing to slow down Tesla or eating some of their sales, not even a little bit. And this is the chart of the sales we have so far here in Europe in Q1. Just look at the projections here. If we try to follow them out over the next 9 months, yeah, Tesla is going to show the European auto market how this is done here in 2022. And the reason why I have two Turkish lines was because Volkswagen sales actually dropped a bit from February to March compared to January to February. So if we use the projection from January to February and use that trend, we get the most sales. So if you take the projection from January to March, you get a little bit lower numbers. But this is of course nothing precise, but just an illustration of the point. What is the trend? Well, the trend is Tesla will sell maybe twice as many as Volkswagen in Europe this year, if the Q1 trend continues out for the year. That would be brutal if that should be the case. Can you guys name me the asset that's been around for 277 years in a portfolio of the world's wealthiest people? It's a tricky question, but I am of course talking about fine art. People like the Rockefeller family invested huge parts of their fortune in fine art, eventually selling their collection for $835 million in 2018. Now, modern billionaires still collect art because they know its value as an investment. In fact, contemporary fine art prices outpaced the S&P 500 by 164% from 1995 to 2021. So why aren't people like you and I investing in this? Well, it takes millions of dollars to acquire a good piece, and it is a hard market to navigate until now. That is thanks to Masterworks, the sponsor of this video. Masterworks' mission is to make it possible for everyone to invest in great work of art through breaking each painting into shares registered with the SEC. Similar to how you buy Tesla stock, now you can buy fractional shares of pieces by masters like Picasso, Andy Warhol and Banksy. Masterworks uses 60,000 data points to find financially attractive work of art, buy them, let you invest in the share representing an investment in the painting, and the result speaks for themselves. So far they have sold 3 paintings, with each returning over 30% to its investors. With results like that, it's no wonder that over 350,000 people have already signed up with Masterworks. With the uncertainty in the stock market and the inflation we see right now, fine art seems to be a pretty safe bet, especially when we look at the historical data. As always, do your own research when it comes to investing, but if you want to be part of what Wall Street's Journal called the hottest market on earth, click my custom link here in the description below to skip the waiting list and join the Masterwork community today. And CATL is coming out with a battery that should be better than Tesla's 4680. CATL, the world's largest battery manufacturer and a major Tesla supplier, teased its upcoming Keyring cell packaging upgrade that it says will house 13% higher capacity than Tesla's 4680 cell, but in the same form factor, so still a 4680 cell size. So that is very cool, with some true competition to Tesla's own battery from CATL, whose biggest customers is Tesla. So probably only something that Tesla will gain from and hopefully find as a healthy competition. Going to be exciting to find out more about their new battery, mostly how many gigawatt hours per year they can make, because that is, in my opinion, still one of the most important things. Because even Tesla's most used battery in 2021 was not their long-range nickel cathode battery. That was their lithium phosphate batteries that stood for about 56% of all Tesla's battery uses in their cars, mostly because of the big demand for the standard range Model 3 and Y in China. So volume does matter more than range, and the cheaper we can get them, the better. And seeing CATL coming out with something they claim is better than Tesla's own 4680 cell is very exciting news from the world's biggest battery manufacturer, and should benefit us all. And Tesla seeks shareholders' approval for another stock split. Yes, this week Tesla seeks shareholders' approval for another stock split that will be approved at the next shareholder meeting. And Tesla stocks continue to rise, so I think this is a very good idea, since I can only see their stock continue to rise with all the great numbers Tesla is able to come out with, breaking their own previous record every single quarter for many years to come. So to make sure the price of the Tesla stock doesn't get too high for retail investors and of course Tesla's own employees, it will make sense to keep the stock price low. And it also shows us that Tesla is pretty confident that the stock price will continue to rise. And CATL made a quick little poll on Twitter for Tesla shareholders to vote in favor of this or not, and it was of course a clear yes. This of course doesn't change anything fundamental about the company, it is just a stock split. But it shows where Tesla thinks this is heading, and me too, of course. And solar and wind reached a big milestone in 2021. According to Research Ember, a climate and energy think tank, 50 countries get more than a tenth of their power from wind and solar sources. Wind and solars and other clean sources generated 38% of the world's electricity in 2021. And for the first time, wind turbines and solar panels generated 10% of the total energy. And a country like Vietnam also saw spectacular growth, particularly in solar, which rose by 300% in just 1 year, thanks to the tariff where the government pays you for generating electricity, which didn't just help to meet the increase in electricity demand, but it also led to a fall in both coal and gas generation. So that is cool. And many countries are aiming to shift their grid to 100% renewable electricity within the next 15 years. And to do that, scientists say that the wind and solar needs to grow around 20% every year up to 2030. And this switch is being driven by the concern of keeping the rise in the world's temperature under the 1.5 Celsius this century. And the author of this analyst says it is now immensely possible. Wind and solar has arrived, and they offer a solution out of the multiple crises that the world is facing, whether that is climate crisis or depending on fossil fuel. It could be a real turning point. Yes, exactly. I personally think the war in Ukraine has opened governments' eyes to what it means to be independent and free. If you are depending on other countries for your energy, you are not truly a free and independent country. And now, thanks to the drop in solar and wind energy cost, every country in the world, even every household themselves, can generate its own energy in the near future. And the war has been the big push towards this, because government has just realized how vulnerable they are when 60% of their energy comes from another country. So now this is probably gonna speed up even faster, because it's being pushed by the Paris Agreement and the climate crisis and the wish to become a true free and independent country. And GM wants to increase the production of the Hummer EV as reservation increased to 65,000 units. Of course, to a big surprise for GM. GMC's global vice president told CNBC, production actually slightly ahead of plan. We are putting things in place now to actually expedite that as well, so we can deliver these reservations quicker than we originally thought. We are seeing momentum building. He also stated that GM's Hummer EV reservation had exceeded expectations. No shit, Sherlock. GM and Ford are so surprised by the EV demand again and again. Well, of course, you could argue that it is surprising that so many people wanted to buy the most inefficient EV available on the market today. But this also shows us the impressively slow production of EVs GM have. Because what we are looking at now is how we can build the maximum amount and how we can fulfill these reservations as quickly as possible. We are doing all the studies on that, and we are confident that we can go a lot quicker than we originally thought. But it still means a reservation now probably means delivery in 2024. So it will take GM 2 years to get through 65,000 reservations. And it's not like they are building a lot of other EVs, so this is just crazy, and this is faster than they originally planned for. What the heck did they plan for? Tesla built more EVs than that in 2 weeks. Meanwhile, the Hummer EV SUV is expected to arrive in 2023. Oh yes, another model. Even though they can't keep up with the production of the first model, they feel the need to introduce another model on top of that, so they can have 2 models they can't keep up with in production. Great plan, GM. Yes, GM has been all talk so far, and they unfortunately are still pretty much only talk. Still no high volume of EVs production even here in 2022. They produced 99 Hummer EVs and a grand total of 457 EVs in Q1. What a leader. And GM's total sales were down 20% in Q1. It looks more like GM is collapsing than they are building momentum. This is not gonna end well. A very bad start to 2022, but someone that had a great start for 2022 was Tesla. They delivered 310,000 cars in Q1, a new record for Tesla, up from 184,000 in Q1 of last year, up about 69%. But we will of course dive much more into Tesla's number when we get the earnings report. And Gordon Jonhson has run out of bad thing to say about Tesla that is grounded in reality. Now he's just straight up lying. Gordon don't think Tesla has any advantage in production. Quite the opposite.
I think Tesla is one of the least efficient manufacturers of cars.
Gordon, even Volkswagen and Ford has been out in public and recognizing Tesla's ability to produce EVs faster than they can. That's a fact, Gordon. Volkswagen themselves have said that the Swiss Cars factory, that is Volkswagen's state-of-the-art factory, and it still takes them 30 hours to build the ID.3, and have said that they want to get down to Tesla's 10 hours of production it takes them to build the Tesla Model 3. And Vollmer, head of Volkswagen's production, said about the Trinity plant they intend to open in 2026. Our goal is clear. We want to set the standard with our production. If we can get to 10 hours, we have achieved something big. Tesla's new factory in Berlin is already producing the Model Y in just 10 hours today, before it really ramps up, and will only become faster going forward. Tesla is already head and shoulders over everyone else in production and is now the standard that the others are looking to get to, Gordon. And Volkswagen don't expect themselves to be able to get to Tesla's production speed of 2021 before 2026. They are at least 5 years behind, Gordon. And where do you think Tesla will be in 4 years from now? Yeah, sorry Gordon, you are really not making any sense anymore. Even Volkswagen CEO Herbert D said at the board meeting Alex is writing about here, that's why we have to take up the fight, attack, and not let Grünheide ruin our location. Does that sound like someone that is leading in production, Gordon? Nope, that sounds like someone that is afraid of losing to the new kid in town. And we got a new electric car coming in 2023 from the legendary automaker Lotus. Lotus is the UK car maker that has been making sports cars for over 70 years. They are not a high volume car maker at all. They sell less than 2,000 vehicles per year. But I do hope Lotus will take this opportunity to make more units of the Lotus called Electra, because it looks like a really nice luxury electric car. It would be nice if they could get to something maybe like the Porsche Taycan or something like that, but Lotus has not said anything about what kind of volume they're aiming for with this car, or I was not able to find it anyway, but I hope they will do more than just a few hundreds a year, because the specs are not bad either. It has got over 600 kilometers WLTP range, a 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in just under 3 seconds, a top speed of 260 kilometers an hour. It does come with a big battery of 100 kilowatt hours, just like the Tesla Model S, but it can charge those 100 kilowatt hours of batteries with 350 kilowatts, and is said to be able to add 400 kilometers of range in 20 minutes, so about 100 kilometers in just 5 minutes, so that is not bad. Tesla is able to put about 120 kilometers in just 5 minutes. But Lotus does not make cheap cars, and this one will not be either. It will start at an estimated $131,000 US equivalent, so about the price of the Tesla Model S Plaid. The inside does look a little bit like a Tesla with the big horizontal screen in the middle, but it looks very luxurious and posh inside, also with the big screen for the passengers in the back. But I do think they made one mistake in their design. The charging port are on the side in the front, so there will be a lot of Tesla superchargers they will not be able to use. And sorry for all you guys in the US, it will not be coming to the US before 2025. So not a car that's going to change much because it's a very low volume, high price electric car, but it's always nice to see some more electric cars coming from these legacy automakers. People don't realize how far ahead Tesla is when it comes to securing the supply chain. And Tesla has just made another multi-year contract. I did just last week make a video about Tesla's huge advantage in getting their hands on materials like nickel and lithium and so on, because they have dozens of multi-year contracts with mining companies and some even with fixed prices. But it continues, and Tesla just inked yet another big deal just this week. Tesla signed a multi-year supply deal with Warhol for nickel from Canada. Warhol is one of the world's largest nickel mining companies. People really don't get how important this is, just as Todd Millen, a spokesman for CATL Metals, another mining company Tesla has a big deal with, said, "People don't realize how far ahead Tesla is when it comes to securing supply chain for raw materials and integrating approach to battery materials." Yes, exactly as Adam Jones said last week. There are even battery manufacturers in China that don't have multi-year contract with a fixed price, so they have to buy at spot price. This advantage for Tesla is going to become very clear for the whole world over the next couple of years, as everyone struggles to get material, but Tesla has made the moves for many years to secure a lot of materials for their production. And Adam Jonas from Morgan Stanley has released yet another Tesla note. And as he wrote, "We are not going to tell you that Tesla is a car company or a tech company. It is both, but it is also an energy company. And what we see emerge over the course of this year is Tesla as a renewable energy onshore infrastructure company. We believe Tesla's role in constructing the EV supply chain upstream and EV infrastructure downstream will become increasingly evident to the investment community over the next few weeks and months." Yes, exactly, and the race to renewable energy also just got a big boost because of the war in Ukraine, because so many countries want to cut their dependence on Russia now, and Tesla is pretty much the only company on the planet that has every technology for this ready. They have the electric cars, they have the charging network, they have the batteries, they have their maker packs, they have the Autobaker software, they have the solar panels and solar roof and power walls, and Tesla is about to ramp all of that up now. And as we just talked about, Tesla has the supply deals in place to do all of this. Yes, I agree with Adam here. Tesla's role in this as an energy company is not really understood by most people, but will become crystal clear here in 2022, boosted by the war. And let's get our weekly update on the Tesla Giga factories. That means handing it over to Brian for My Tesla Weekend. Take it away, Brian.
Hey Lars, well, for a change of pace, let's start in Fremont, where we can see the overflow parking for the Model S out by the track has gotten a lot less full in the last 10 days. Over where the bridge connecting the main building to the sprung structure, we can see that that bridge is structurally complete, and conveyor components have arrived on site this week. That should be operational in a couple weeks. In Shanghai, things remain very quiet with the staggered shutdown still in place. Not much to see in the northwest corner, not much to see in the west side, and the south end looks about unchanged over the last couple weeks. In the north central area, this little building has moved along a bit, but we don't even know what it's for yet. In Berlin, we can see the extension to the stamping building is well underway. The foundation area is being dug out. This will continue moving forward. The 4680 building is inching along nicely. It's even got some windows, but the big news out of Germany is that the Made in Germany Model Y is now being delivered to customers. I don't have clearance for this video. I'm sure you can figure it out. He's a super cool guy. In Texas, the north end of the building has seen some level 2 chargers installed. The solar on the roof is coming along quick. It's a huge sign, but the Tesla logo is starting to take shape. They're getting landscaping in advance of Cyber Rodeo, and for that matter, the parking lot is looking just about done and completely striped. In the northeast corner, we're seeing a buildup of piling equipment. Yep, they're about to start work on a foundation over here, possibly for the cathode building, but if you thought we were going to run out of stuff to track each week, well, good news, there's still a lot to go.
Thank you so much for the update, Brian. Can't wait to see some more details about the Giga Texas party next week. And SpaceX has another historic launch coming up next week. SpaceX is targeting a launch of the Axiom Mission 1 on Wednesday, the 6th of April. This is the first all-private crew to get to the International Space Station. The crew is in quarantine right now in Florida as they finalize preparations for the time they will spend working and living on board ISS for 8 days. So just some civilian people flying up to the space station to work. Oh, is that it? I think this is so cool because it's just the first step for the sci-fi to get real. Civilians that fly out in space to go to work. Right now, it's for 8 days on the ISS, but in the future, maybe flying out to work on the moon base or other cool places. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this new show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. Andrew Carpathy is currently on a 4-month sabbatical, probably to get some well-deserved rest and reset a bit. Andrew did confirm this on Twitter, furthermore that he is looking forward to getting back to his work at Tesla. As he wrote, I already miss all the robots and the CPU Dojo cluster and looking forward to having them at my fingertips again. And Mercedes don't think electric semi-trucks will ever be as cheap as the ICE version, and will therefore still focus on their hydrogen semi-truck. Oh boy, I can't wait for Tesla to release their semi-truck so all the doubters can be proven wrong. It will be much cheaper to run a fleet of electric semi-trucks than ICE versions, or hydrogen for that matter. And Tesla will prove just that when they start production of their Tesla semi-trucks in volumes. And we know many celebrities likes to drive Teslas, and Ben Affleck and J-Lo was just seen getting into their plaid Tesla Model S. Nice. And to all the people that say full self-driving can't drive in a snowstorm, well, neither can humans. Pull over, people. Don't drive in this kind of weather with almost zero visibility. Another UAW official pled guilty in embezzling $2.2 million from the union. This is the 17th union officer to be convicted of the ongoing criminal investigations into corruption within the UAW. And I don't think it gets much clearer than this, that UAW is corrupt, with 17 convictions so far. This is insane. How the American people can still trust these unions is beyond me, and Elon was of course quick to reply to this story on Twitter. UAW slogan, fight for the right to embezzle money from auto workers. The UAW stole millions from workers, whereas Tesla has made many workers millionaires via stock grant. Subtle but important difference. And Tesla Shanghai had to shut down production again because of lockdown in Shanghai. And Jay in Shanghai shared a video of the full lockdown in Shanghai and how they broadcasted the announcement. Now that looks like something straight out of an episode of Black Mirror. And ITRA will show off its new 9,000-ton Giga press at an event on the 6th to the 14th of June. So going to be very exciting to see who this 9,000-ton Giga casting machine is for. And Redwood Material is right now recycling about 8 to 10 gigawatt hours per year. That is pretty amazing. Remember, I reported just last week that CATL would build a $1.4 billion battery plant to produce about 11 gigawatt hours of batteries in the US. So Redwood Materials is already pretty close to being able to supply that new battery factory with all the materials it would need in theory. That's pretty cool. They are just getting started and are only one little company. This is such an important thing. Tesla is planning a big megapack project at the Gigafactory in Texas to avoid an unreliable electricity grid. Makes sense to make sure they don't have to shut down 2 days of production because of the grid is down, like we saw it was last year. And Tesla Full Self-Driving Beta made it to Canada and is now blowing people's minds up there as well.
Oh my God! See my lad!
Yeah, just wait until the whole world gets to try this. And Sandy Monroe finally got his Rivian pickup truck and is very impressed with it. He is never going back to the old ICE pickup again, that's for sure. Just listen to this.
I know it was a big deal for me to move from a Jeep to this, but after looking at it and driving around for about a week, it's really not hard to fall in love with this and say goodbye to your old buddy. This is really, really, really a nice car. It's wicked fast. I took it up at least a 40-degree angle, slow, and I tried that with the Jeep, and that didn't really work out too well for me. the new Jeep. I really think that Rivian's got a hell of a car here, or truck here. If you're an off-roader, it's going to be hard for you to say, oh, I wouldn't want one of these, or I'd like to go back to, you know, an old Jeep or something like that. There's no way. So anyway, we're very glad. I paid quite a bit of money for this thing, but I think it's worth every penny. And this could be the last vehicle I ever buy.
And Moneyball on Twitter shared the production numbers for new energy vehicles in China in February, and the Wuling Mini EV is of course still the most produced. But right after that is Tesla's two models, the Model Y only a couple of thousand units after the Mini EV. And as Brian from My Tesla Weekend pointed out, remember Tesla's profit per car is higher than the retail cost of the Wuling Mini EV. Just nuts. The Mini EV should hardly be on this list, because then we should also have EV scooters as well. But again, just watch this list of new energy vehicles in China and tell me who looks to be dominating the market and who is missing from the list. The first one would be Tesla. The second one would be legacy automakers. There are only Tesla and Chinese automakers on this list. And it was this week, 6 years ago, Elon revealed the Tesla Model 3, the car many thought would never see the light of days, and the car that almost did kill Tesla in 2018 because of the production ramp of this car. But they did survive, and it is now the most sold electric car in history. And before we end up with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest patrons and members of this YouTube channel. Frank, Louis Van Haan, Bobby Freeman, Joy in Life, Raphael, that I met at the Giga Berlin factory. So cool of you to join my Patreon. Thank you, Raphael. And Hans Fabricht and Giles Goldsbro. And I thank you for watching, members Tim Sable, Jonhson, and Don Brandt. And my best in Tesla superhero, Paul Smith. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this new show. Thank you. And a big and special thanks to Supporter of the Week, and this week's winner is Stephen Brown. Stephen has been a best in Tesla superhero of mine for the last 18 months. Thank you so much for all your support, Stephen. Please contact me on this email down below so I can send you your free t-shirt or mug of your choice. And let's end off with a bit of fun. And with all the good things that are going on with Tesla right now, the domination in China, in Europe, in the US, the opening of a new Giga factory, and next week the opening of the Texas factory, I thought it would be appropriate to just let Elon Musk do another dance.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah.
That is all we have time for in this new show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support, and if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel and get your shout out on this show. You can also become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out and some extra perks. Hit the members button to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news as it comes out and more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. Now it's also possible to support the show without buying anything, becoming a member or a patron. There is a link to donation options in the show notes. But going forward, I will be making more videos for patrons and members only. And I will give my YouTube members and patrons early access to my videos whenever possible, and make my videos ads free for members and patrons only. So don't miss out. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.